Striking workers have downed tools across the nation as the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress begin their industrial action over the hike in electricity tariff and a lack of consensus on a new minimum wage. While the National Assembly had stepped in at the last minute to avoid the industrial action declared on Friday, the discussions ended in stalemate, leading to the commencement of the strike. In compliance with the order, some workers in several parts of the country were shut out of their offices. From the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Abuja in southeast, Borno in the northeast, down to Lagos in the southwest, the workers' actions grounded economic activities. Activities in banks and other financial institutions were also disrupted as the staff were not allowed to get into their offices by the labor union officials. Let's also tell you that organized labor has closed all entry points to aviation agencies at Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Ikeja, Lagos, and Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja to demand the implementation of a new national minimum wage. This action has led to significant disruptions in flight operations as the nation's busiest airports, leaving passengers stranded at the entrances. The disruption comes just 24 hours after aviation unions directed their members to withdraw services across airports in Nigeria. All right, right now we will be reconnecting with our correspondent, Emmanuel Bagudu, who is in Abuja, to give us an update of the strike in the Federal Capital Territory, and also Austin Azu in Delta State. Hello, Austin. Hello, Emmanuel, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Dasha. How are you doing? Good afternoon.
All right, fine, thank you. All right, let me begin with Emmanuel. So go ahead and give us an update from the last time we spoke. What's the toll of the strike on workers, especially emotionally, you know, and also especially those with families to support?
Here in Abuja, the labor has intensified the enforcement. They have gone to the extent of using police officers. They don't go around with police vans. So as I speak, the impact of the action is actually being felt by a lot of workers. Earlier on, we showed you some videos of some construction workers. A lot of them are lamenting. So what Labour is doing now, Labour is even concentrating on private entities. Because they feel, okay, the government organizations, the government agencies will always comply. So the private organizations, the entire banks around Harpad Macaulay Way, just close to the Labour House, all of them are shut down. And that left a lot of people who are actually depending on daily wages to really be affected. And I think that's what Labour wants, because they actually want the federal government to feel the impact of this strike.
All right, let's move to Austin. Austin, we didn't get an opportunity to speak to you earlier, but go ahead and tell us where in Delta State are you, and give us an update of the strike happening.
Yes, currently I'm in Asaba, Delta State capital, where economic activities have been paralyzed by the TUC and NLC. Earlier this morning, the TUC and NLC officials went around the state capital to enforce the compliance. They shut down government offices, commercial banks, and other offices to ensure they are able to comply. Specifically, the areas they shut down includes the Federal Secretariat along the Upernam Road, the State Secretariat Complex along Bagida Road, and Stephen Keshi Stadium, where we have ongoing activities for sports, are shut down. And of course, thereafter, they went to the Federal Medical Center, FMC. They shut it down as well. They shut down the State Specialist Hospital, where patients were actually waiting for doctors to arrive. We are very more pained when I went to the Federal Medical Center and I went to the Specialist Hospital, where you see, half full of patients waiting for doctors to come and attend to them. But with this current industrial action, definitely doctors were deprived not to gain access to their offices. Most of them were chased out of their offices to ensure that they're able to comply with the labor directive. But very more concerned like what Magudu rightly said, what about those who are living, doing their normal jobs, who are not government workers, or those who believe that they can take their, their money to the banks to go and save for them? So it becomes so complicated for these people to find intense reality how they are going to cope for today. We are not talking about the aviation that has been shut down, it's about airport has been shut down, and other government offices and federal government offices within the state. So it means the people who are not in the government sector will find it very difficult to comply with today. Now, coming back to the health sector now, the patients have been told to relocate from the hospital and for them to go to private hospital. So it means that they are going to cough out another cash, another money for them to go and sustain their lives outside the government hospital. And meanwhile, most of these hospitals that they have gone to, probably because of what they can afford, and those who could no longer afford the private hospital will need to go and struggle and get another cash for them to go and meet doctors for health attenders. So it's really going to bite hard on the ordinary man who is there on the streets, not those who are working in government offices already, because definitely they need to meet up with their daily needs and how to survive with the ongoing strike. But nobody knows when the strike will be suspended. So it means that they're still going to be on their toes, on their knees, praying to God for their help at this point in time.
All right, let's head back to Abuja. Emmanuel, at this point, Emmanuel, would you actually say that the workers are feeling heard by the government?
Sorry, repeat the question again. Your question again?
I said, would you at this point say that the workers are feeling heard by the government?
Well, the workers are actually, a lot of them are actually having a mixed feeling. Some of them, I spoke to a couple of construction workers. They mentioned cases of high cost of living, how they are not being able to, meet up with family demands and all that. So in one way or the other, they are happy with the strike. And then in another way, they are not able to earn their daily pay. So that is their situation right now.
Okay. Now let's get back to you, Austin. Austin, if you can hear me.
Yeah,
so,
I can hear you.
Yes, I would actually like for you to, answer the same question I asked Emmanuel. Would you say that the workers, due to the strike, and, everything happening at the moment, would you say that the government is listening to the pleas and the cries of the workers and, doing everything to fast forward? Because it's not just, some of the organizations that have been shut down. Even the national grid has actually deliberately been shut down, which makes it more difficult for, those at home to even, enjoy the strike, if I must say so.
Well, this is not the first time Labour is enforcing a total shutdown, and there's no way you would tell me that government is not aware of the repercussion of what Labour intends to do. And that's why the federal government has been, on several occasions trying to intervene in this lingering strike action that Labour has proposed long ago. So this is not the first time that the federal government and the Labour have been, talking on this issue. So the federal government is fully aware of the repercussion. And we probably heard, not quite long, that the meeting held yesterday ended in deadlock. So obviously, after midday today, definitely Labour will go back to the meeting room with the federal government to negotiate further on the way forward. Because the federal government, might not bear the brunt of the strike at the moment. Because one, they have what they are using to sustain themselves at this point in time. But the ordinary man who is there in the street will feel the brunt of this strike because, one, they can't go to the bank, they can't go to the hospital, and what they're supposed to do, because there are some people who do menial jobs in the offices who are not government workers. They go there
all right,
on a daily
Austin.
basis. Yeah.
Thank you so much, correspondents. Austin from Delta State and Emmanuel in Abuja for an update on the national strike.
You're most welcome.